Welcome to the video. First, we will set the stage. For many non-immigrant work visa holders, a simple traffic stop can escalate into a criminal matter. Next, we will clarify why driving without a valid license is not a mere ticket, but often a misdemeanor. Then, we will connect the criminal charge to immigration risks, including visa renewal and permanent residency applications. Finally, we will outline immediate steps to protect your status and provide a practical action plan. Stay through the end for key takeaways and resources. Before we go further, here is an important disclaimer. This content is general information, not legal advice. State laws differ significantly and may change, so viewers should consult a licensed criminal defense attorney and a licensed immigration attorney in their specific jurisdiction. Nothing here creates an attorney-client relationship. Now let us review the agenda. We will cover why a license issue can be a misdemeanor, how residency affects foreign license grace periods, how criminal and immigration systems intersect, what steps you should take immediately, common myths to avoid, and finally a couple of quick quizzes to reinforce understanding. To set the context, a traffic stop may lead to a charge for driving without a valid license. In many states, that offense is a misdemeanor, which is a criminal charge rather than a civil infraction. Because immigration considers criminal history in discretionary decisions, a misdemeanor conviction can affect visa renewals and future permanent residency applications. Consequently, handling the criminal case with immigration consequences in mind is essential. First, here is the big picture. A misdemeanor is a criminal offense. That means you are not dealing with a simple fine. You are entering the criminal justice system. Next, immigration authorities can and do review criminal histories and court dispositions. Therefore, your aim in court is not merely to resolve the ticket, but to obtain a disposition that has little or no immigration impact, ideally a dismissal or a reduction to a non-criminal infraction. Meanwhile, state laws vary considerably, and the existence of a foreign license does not necessarily protect you once you are considered a resident under state law. Now, let us talk about residency. Many states allow tourists to drive on a foreign license for a short period. However, once you establish residency, often evidenced by signing a lease, starting a job, or setting up utilities, the tourist grace period may end immediately or very soon. As a result, you should assume that your duty to obtain a state-issued driver's license begins almost immediately upon arrival or upon establishing residency. To avoid risk, plan to apply for your state license as soon as you can. Next, this sequence diagram illustrates how dual counsel should coordinate. The defendant promptly contacts both a criminal defense attorney and an immigration attorney. The criminal defense attorney evaluates the state misdemeanor charge and negotiates with the prosecutor for dismissal or for a reduction to a non-criminal infraction. In parallel, the immigration attorney analyzes the immigration consequences of each potential plea or disposition and advises the criminal defense attorney accordingly. The two attorneys coordinate to select an outcome that is immigration safe. The defendant appears in court with the criminal defense attorney, and the court issues a final disposition. Finally, the immigration attorney reviews the disposition to ensure it is compatible with future immigration filings. Ideally, the defendant secures a state driver's license before the first court date to strengthen negotiations. Moving on to your action plan. First, enter an initial plea of not guilty. Second, hire a local criminal defense attorney with experience handling traffic misdemeanors. Third, consult an immigration attorney and authorize them to coordinate with your criminal defense counsel. Fourth, apply for your state driver's license as soon as possible. Having it in hand before court can improve negotiating leverage. Fifth, gather key documents such as your passport, visa, I-94, lease, pay stubs, social security number or ITIN if applicable, and any DMV email or phone notes you have. Sixth, direct your counsel to prioritize outcomes like dismissal or reduction to a non-criminal infraction to minimize immigration consequences. Finally, obtain certified copies of your court dispositions and retain them for future immigration filings. Here is a practical matrix. A misdemeanor conviction generally creates a criminal record and can carry high immigration risk. Some alternative dispositions, such as deferred adjudication or withholding, may still be treated as convictions under immigration law, depending on jurisdiction and facts, so risk can remain medium to high. Reductions to non-criminal infractions typically avoid a criminal record and have lower immigration impact. A full dismissal is usually the safest outcome. In some areas, a continuance for dismissal conditioned on compliance, such as obtaining a state driver's license, may be available, and carries low risk. Let us compare common myths with legal reality. First, rental company acceptance of a foreign license does not determine whether state law treats your driving as lawful. Criminal statutes control. Second, even if a DMV email or phone representative suggested a grace period, those communications do not override enacted statutes or regulations. At best, they may support a good faith argument. Third, appearing alone to explain the situation is risky and can lead to unfavorable outcomes, so counsel is essential. Fourth, many states treat driving without a valid license as a misdemeanor, meaning the criminal court and criminal penalties may apply. Quiz time. Question: when does a foreign driver's license grace period often end for work visa holders who establish residency? Option A: it always lasts 90 days for everyone. Option B: it usually ends only when the rental agreement expires. Option C: it may end immediately or very soon once residency is established. Option D: it continues indefinitely if you keep your foreign license valid. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is that the grace period may end immediately or very soon once residency is established. Establishing residency often collapses tourist allowances. Therefore, plan to obtain a state driver's license as soon as possible. Now, regarding good faith. Even if you received emails or phone guidance from a DMV suggesting a longer grace period, those communications do not override statutory requirements. They might help your attorney negotiate or frame a mitigation narrative, but they do not eliminate the charge. Your central objective remains the same: obtain an immigration-safe disposition, such as dismissal, or a reduction to a non-criminal infraction. Here is the second quiz. Question: you were charged with driving without a valid license. What is the best immediate strategy? Option A: go to court alone and explain your DMV email. Option B: plead guilty to finish the case quickly. Option C: plead not guilty, hire a criminal defense attorney, and consult an immigration attorney. Option D: ignore the court date and apply for a license later. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section. The correct answer is to plead not guilty, hire a criminal defense attorney, and consult an immigration attorney. Coordinated counsel is necessary to target outcomes that minimize immigration harm, rather than simply closing the case quickly. To summarize the key points: treat driving without a license as a serious criminal matter. Understand that residency often ends foreign license grace periods quickly. Hire both criminal and immigration counsel and ensure they coordinate. Aim for a dismissal or a reduction to a non-criminal infraction. Obtain your state driver's license as soon as possible, and keep certified copies of your dispositions for immigration purposes. As we conclude, plan ahead by scheduling DMV appointments early. Document everything, including DMV communications, receipts, and application steps. Encourage open communication so your criminal and immigration attorneys can coordinate. Finally, be proactive by resolving your license status before the court date when possible, which strengthens your position. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with colleagues who might need it, and subscribe for more practical guides focused on immigration safety. In the comments, share your questions or experiences so we can cover them in future episodes.